Hey guys, I also wanted to tell you um, to give you an example of the power of letting go and how quickly spells can start moving once you let go of expectations. And by this, I don't mean for you to let go of your wish to have your person back. I mean, let go of, waiting, of observing, and things like that because I've had a couple of clients that had this issue, and this story is going to be about one of them. When they were observing the target and waiting for the change in the target. So, and then they were like messaging me and telling me, oh, the target is all the same. I was looking at them the whole day and there was no change. Or I don't know, when we met, I was looking, there was no change and stuff like that. So, as we explained earlier, when you observe an object, and this is physics, this is pure physics, okay? Not even metaphysics, not even quantum physics, just physics. When we observe an object the whole time, right? We just look at an object. It can't change when we're observing it. When it can change is when we don't look at it. So when we focus on something else. So I gave you an example with like hair growth. You're observing your hair because you want to grow out your hair and looking at it and looking at it, and it's just the same length all the time. And then you forget about the hair. You have some problems in life. You forget about hair, and then you just one day look in the mirror and wow, my hair has grown so much. So we all know that hair grows, right? And also people change and objects change. So it's not a bad example if that's what you're thinking. But when we are focused on it and observing it and waiting for the change, it can't happen. That's my point. So I just want to start with that. So I already mentioned a bit about this client in one of my Q&As because the question was about can we change sexual orientation with spells? And the answer was no, of course not. But the thing is that we can't know if someone is bi-curious. So, most likely some people don't even know they're bi-curious. Sometimes there's a certain person that makes you, well, usually it's a certain person that makes you bi-curious. So theoretically, kind of, yeah, we can do that. But like I said, I don't recommend um, these type of spells because we can't know if there's anything that would make them curious. I don't want you guys to waste your money. However, with this client, what happened was that he didn't mention to me that his target is actually straight. So my client is gay, and he ordered a spell for another guy and forgot to mention the most important thing. But it turned out to probably be good that he didn't mention it because, like I said, there are no circumstances. So, sorry, there are no coincidences. I don't know why I mix these two Words. There are no coincidences. So, he ordered a spell for a guy, and then this was not that long ago. I think a month ago or something. Yeah, a month ago because I asked him, okay. And what he was doing was letting me know like every few days, oh, I was watching the target all the time and no change, no change. And I was like, well, okay, don't watch, giving him the regular advice. And then one day he mentioned to me when we were speaking, he just mentioned that the target um is into girls, basically. And I was like, wait, what? He's not gay? And he was like, no, he's heterosexual. And I was like, well, that's the issue. He is into women, so nothing we can do there. And when I told him that, basically he was like, oh yeah, I see, yes, I forgot to mention it, and yes, I can see now. I explained to him we can't change sexual orientation, blah blah blah. I did say about someone being curious, but those are, we can't know those things. So if they're not into the opposite sex at all, blah blah blah. The same sex at all in this case, and blah 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 blah. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I get it. Okay, well, okay." And that was it. And that was a couple of days ago. So today, this client told me he got movement. Yes. I'm not gonna say what it was, and I'm not gonna get into details, obviously, because that wouldn't be okay. I'm only giving you this example. I don't really like to talk about clients this much, but I have been lately just to inspire others, just to show others, and to give you examples. So yeah, he got movement, like real movement, actual movement, movement. That's movement. And I will explain to you why, because the thing was, before, he was extremely needy for it. He was waiting for it. He was looking at the target, waiting for changes. So obviously he was very focused on it. He was not letting it go at all, and he was like obsessing over it. I mean, I knew that. I saw all the signs of obsessing. And what happened was, when I told him, "Oh, it can't happen if he is into girls. It won't happen." So he just let go. He let go of expectations, because he was like, "Oh, I got that wrong. Okay, whatever." And the minute he let go of expectations and stopped observing and stopped being needy for it, the spell, bam, started working. And obviously the guy was curious and was kind of into him. I mean, got kind of into him, basically. And here we are. So that's why I tell you, you should let go. You shouldn't wait for it. You shouldn't observe your target and wait for the change. And you should just focus on something else and let it go. I mean, I don't mean like stop wanting it or stop expecting it or not believing the spell will work, but just like not obsessing about it and not like observing it and waiting it and things like that. This is why I'm giving this example, basically, for you to see. And I've seen it like so many times in my practice over these 20 years that's why I, figured it all out. One of the reasons, also reading a lot about it, reading a lot about physics, about metaphysics, about quantum physics, about all sorts of stuff, researching. Basically, it was a lot of work to get where I am today and to be able to do things that I'm able to do today. And that's why you're just gonna have to trust me and follow my advice and follow what I tell you, follow my instructions. And it can be hard, and sometimes things like this have to happen for you to like fully let go, in terms of, oh, it can't happen, goodbye, and then the spell will kick in. And this has actually happened to me personally a couple of times as well. When I was young, when I was just beginning my career, I was just like, oh, this is not gonna work and can't work, and I'm giving up. And then just like 2 hours later, I get a text or something. So with some people, it does again depend. We are not all the same, but like fully letting go is what works for some. For some, they can do with different methods. It really depends. But for nobody, it will work if you're gonna be needy and observing the target and sitting by your phone and watching when they were last online. And this is why, again, I emphasize to the people who are very anxiously attached and needy to hide in the settings so they can see when they were last online, to unfollow them on social media. They don't have to unfriend them, but just, so they don't see the post, so they don't have to overthink and get even more obsessed. There are certain things that you can take also, that you can do, that will help you with your neediness, that will help you get less needy. So those are the ones, and we already have audio on that, so I'm not gonna get fully into it. But yes, letting go is really important. Like not expecting and waiting for the change and like asking, where is it? Why isn't it here yet? That's not how it works. You're being impatient. You are not following the instructions, unfortunately, and that's why it's not happening. So, if you look at the success stories, from clients that actually wrote them themselves, because like I said before, I asked of you to write them yourself. I used to screenshot them, so it was just like screenshots of what happened. And now I actually ask of you to describe the process, so it would be more helpful for others. And you can see that every single person has mentioned that they were following the instructions. That's crucial. Every single person said that. And again, unfortunately, not everyone will leave a review, which is something that I can't make people do. It's not mandatory. They pay for the service, and they are not obligated to leave a review. So it's your own goodwill to leave one. But again, I'm asking all of you that have had big movement or full manifestations to leave your reviews on your own, so others can learn from them. It's just better than me taking a screenshot and just, oh, I got my ex back or whatever you will write. It's much more important that you write some things that you did as well, from the instructions that brought your ex back to you. So it's mainly for other clients to see how to do it, because a lot of clients are struggling with letting go. A lot of clients are struggling with neediness, especially, newer clients that I took. And it's perfectly normal, but they need all the help they can get. And they get help from me, they get instructions from me, they talk to me, but I think it helps. It's always a bigger help to hear it for someone who was in their shoes. I think it's like, just more, just better, basically, just better. So, I don't know what to say. I understand if you don't want to leave reviews. I fully understand. But again, it would mean a lot if you did, not just to me, but to other clients. So try to be, how do I put it, generous, because that's what universe loves. So also like giving back, being grateful, because I had clients where I actually, I already mentioned this, that I had this client that I gave even a discount to, which I don't do often. And she got her ex back, and they were actually, it was a hard situation, and she told me that she going back, they're actually getting married. And I was like, oh, that's great, would you mind leaving a review? And she got all pissed off just because I asked if she could leave a review, and she was like, reviews are not mandatory, and she was like really mean. And I was like, okay, it's fine, whatever, goodbye. Which was really uncomfortable and kind of hurtful, because she did not show any gratitude. And I'm not saying that you need to leave a review to show gratitude, but she was like really mean about it. She could just say, no, I would prefer not to. I'm afraid for my privacy. I want to stay anonymous, whatever. Um, I don't want others to bother me. I don't want to, something like that. But she was like really defensive and really mean about it, which made me a bit scared to even ask people for them. And also a couple of occasions I did say, would you mind leaving a review? And then people would say, yeah, yeah, sure, and they never left it. So obviously not everyone is interested in leaving a review. So I can't make people do it. It's not mandatory. It doesn't have come with a spell. Oh, if it manifests, you need to leave a review. No, it doesn't, and that's just a fact. So again, I'm asking of you, if you want to, you can. It would be nice. It would help others. It would be kind. It would be generous. It would be, it would be the best show of gratitude, but it's not mandatory and I can't make everyone do it. So I want to mention that. Anyways, letting go, very, very powerful. And it's hard to do, especially when you're anxiously attached, when you're needy. And that's why we have all of these exercises and all of these instructions to get you to a place where you will be detached and not needy anymore. And that's really important. So that's why it's important to follow the instructions. Okay. So I hope this story helps. I hope it will inspire someone to let go, to kind of allow the spell to work, and yeah, to get success basically. Thank you for listening. Bye.